Hey, what's up, man? It's your boy Rueben Wood. Hey, 5 a.m. on Peachtree. We are now rocking with the Sakara Show. Tune in.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl Sakara, and you already know right now with Ruben Wood, and we out here in New York City. His album is about to drop 5 a.m. on Peachtree, and we about to get right into it. So first off, tell me, how does it feel to know that your album is about to drop at the end of 2023?
It actually feel good. It's been a journey putting this project together and everything. Also, like because it is coming toward the end of the year, everybody else has dropped projects. So I just want to, share that, which means like this is probably either gonna be the highlight of the year or the low point of the year. So I know a lot of people gonna be listening. But yeah, it's pretty dope.
Yes, and the fact that you got everybody on this album, I'll be honest, out of all the names, Juvenile, I was like, okay, that is the one artist that got that song that never goes out. We all know we're talking about back then. So I'm excited to see what new music he's putting out. Talk to me about the different amount of artists that you have on there and how you got in touch with some of them.
So I have features from Benny the Butcher, Juvenile, Capadonna, Jadakiss, Cameron, Snoop Dogg, Rick Ross, Gucci Man, YBN Namir, Mozzie, Currency, as well as Juicy J. And then like upcoming and rising artists, I have Lucy Got Fans, Hollywood 40, MSB Boog, JP the Prince, as well as Flyboy Breeze. Oh, and I didn't mention Dizzy Wright. He's also on the project as well. So it's a huge collection of music. Shout out to Saya Sad. She's also singing and adding vocals. Marco Rich is also singing and adding vocals on the album project too. So it's a lot of big names. It's a lot of rising names. Pony Capri, she's big in the UK as well. So shout out to her. She's on the record with Snoop Dogg. Um, and yeah, man. I mean, the main thing for me was not so much me adding vocals and bars to the project. So the main thing was the production. I started out producing this project last year before my mom's actually passed, and it was more so like I was working on something and I wanted to finish it because one of the songs is actually named after her. It was a production that I produced, really in just me thinking about her when she was still in the hospital, when she was still alive. But so really the project for me was more so like about doing what you say you're gonna do, completion, paying it forward, connecting with all these artists. A lot of this was actually just connected straight off of me getting verses from basically me paying for the verses and everything and making that happen and come together. So it's been a journey to make all of this happen. If I had put the project out last year, I wouldn't have had all the features that's on it now. So I did every feature strategic, specific, um, and I know what people actually want to hear. From all different areas, whether it's New York up top, the East Coast sound, down south, um, even Afro beats, Caribbean R&B to the West Coast and the Midwest too. So I gotta, it's a lot on there. It's a real album, even though it's going out as a mixtape. It's a real album, and I know it's a song on the project for everybody, and that's the most important thing.
So first, I want to say I'm so sorry for your loss. I know that must have
Thank you.
been tremendously difficult. Yes, you're welcome. I wanted to ask you. I know it was very important for you to finish something you started. What are three things you would tell artists out there who go through something that honestly they don't know if they could get through it and if they can continue on their journey? Like, what are three things that got you through it?
I would say most importantly, I feel like music has been therapy for me. Producing this whole project, there's only one other producer on here for the actual record, 5 a.m. on Peachtree. The co-producer is PC Beats out of Philadelphia. So for me, just throughout the whole process, has been therapeutic. Being in studio sessions with some of the up and coming artists and everything. Um, it has pushed me to be better as a music producer. Uh, since I hadn't done music in 13 years, it made me get back into the mode of actually writing and rapping and singing and harmonizing and all of that. So it's been a big process to even do that. But number two, I would just say like praying, because that's probably one of the biggest things that has helped me to even deal with everything in general and to stay focused. And number three, I would literally have to say staying focused. Maintaining a good mental space, because you know it's never easy when you lose a parent. It's never easy when you lose a sibling or you lose a loved one in general, especially when you close to them. So I would just say remaining focused and keeping mentally on the right track. You know what I'm saying? Diligently, and that's been the biggest thing for me. I do a lot of meditation now, more so than ever. I listen to a lot of sound therapy that helps me to, stay focused, stay on task and stuff like that. Because if not, it'd be a lot going on. So I know I get distracted.
Amen. I love that answer because people don't understand the power of prayer a lot of the time. So I love the fact you mentioned that. And I do want to applaud the fact that you started SOM Talk, because I think a lot of times when people go through something, they kind of go into a shell. They don't talk to people, and you have a show. So I want to talk about what does SOM Talk stand for the people out there who haven't tuned into your show yet, and how impactful has that show been, either mental health wise, career wise, and indifferent.
So SOM Talk Live actually stands for something originally made, um, which is, I mean, SOM really been my brand since like 2012, to keep it a buck with you. Um, so to where it's at now, being an actual show on television, career wise, it has impacted my career tremendously. It helped me to grow, taking it from being a magazine media platform to podcasts, being, syndicated for mix shows and stuff with that same brand name, and then pushing it to a television talk show on Nor TV. Shout out to Nor TV. Make sure y'all download the app. But um, yeah, it's been another big significant part of my journey, because when I stopped doing music 13 years ago, I switched sides into marketing and media. So I've been behind the scenes for years. I wasn't working on no music, wasn't doing anything, but I was acting. I was interviewing people. So I know a lot of celebrities, a lot of the major music artists, a lot of PR people, a lot of these people who are doing media, who've been in media for years. I know them personally because I've been right there with them, you know. Um, and just to see a lot of people's growth, see a lot of people leveling up as well as myself, it's been a beautiful thing, because I'm not somebody who's like trying to hold somebody back or hating on somebody. You know what I'm saying? I respect it. I usher it in, welcome it. I want other people to be successful because I want to be successful. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
That's a beautiful energy, and I love the fact that you want to see other people grow. So, what success tips would you give to people out there who have their own show? Podcasts really boomed out of nowhere. So, I love the fact that you've been doing it since 2012. So, what tips would you give them if they want to get on your TV or any other television platform?
I would just say continue to grow your platform in general and focus on investing in yourself. Because when I started doing media, podcast was not a thing. We had blog talk radio, and I know a lot of people do not know what that is. If you've been doing media for a while, you know what blog talk radio is. Um, and I'm saying that to say, like, I remember when podcasting became such a significant thing, because basically prior to that, the Breakfast Club was like the only show that was dominating out here in the media space. Like for real, hitting charts, points, da da da. And when I say the media space, I mean like for urban, and they were even crossing over. So, to even see where they at now and to see where Angela is at, she got her own show and stuff. They still transcending and breaking barriers and stuff, but at one point they were really the top of the top. They were literally like the number one next to Steve Harvey. So I would just say invest in yourself is the number one thing. Don't focus on necessarily being so outside of the box that you miss the point of what's actually trending. Because a lot of times we be coming up with ideas and thoughts in our mind. We like, oh, I need to do this. No, you don't. A lot of stuff is already simple. It's simplified and it's laid out for you. So, you can follow the guidelines of what other people are actually doing, but just make it your own. And it'll help build your brand quicker. Because the thing is like, we look at a lot of brands now and we see who's stood over the test of time versus who's actually coming out, but they're coming out and they're making a strong impact. So in order to get to a point like, who one of the platforms you're talking about, Elevator, or, the faders or the complex and stuff, you got to really be doing this serious grind for years, right? But you have to have a strong focus on investing in yourself and following the trends to see how you can stay ahead of the trends or right there with the trend. That's the most important thing, and building a successful brand.
What is the most important investment you think you've made in your career thus far that really helped propel you to where you are today?
Shout out to my big homie, Spectacular Smith, investing in social media marketing and learning how to do that myself, taking his classes and his courses, his master class, learning online marketing, social media marketing across the board in every aspect. That has probably been the biggest investment in myself. YouTube ads and all of that. I can't stress enough. There's so much money to be made just off of YouTube alone for anybody who's doing media, and take the time to study stuff and understand and learn that it's not going to be an overnight process, but it's worth that while. Yeah.
Do you have any stories that you had to, something crazy, it could be something crazy or funny, where you wanted to get an interview when you was first coming up? We all know it's hard getting interviews with celebrities when they don't know who you are yet. So is there any stories that you have where you were like, you can't believe this is how I got this back then?
Yeah, honestly, I keep it with you. First interview I did was with T-Boz from TLC out the gate of me starting doing like media. So I would say I pretty much did mostly all of the interviews I actually wanted to do. It's been times where you done had people who like, nah, I ain't trying to do an interview because they just don't feel like it. They not in the mood, or they lost an award, because that's happened before. And you have to respect that too. I'm not a person who gonna hackle somebody about an interview. If you don't feel like doing it, cool. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe I was interviewing T-Boz when I first started out. That was probably like one of the pinnacles for me to be a new person doing media and to have successfully did that interview. But again, podcasting wasn't a thing then, so that interview wasn't recorded. Yeah. Yes.
Oh man. Okay, but that's huge. Wow. For your first interview, that's insane. And I just want to wrap this up, tie it back into the album. What song did you produce that made you feel like I have to keep listening to it over and over and over again? Because I know you have to have at least one or two records that you had on replay.
Yeah, definitely. I would have to say it was the record on the project called Upgrade You. It's a funny skit on there when you listen to it. Pretty sure to make everybody laugh. But the production for Upgrade You was, yeah, that was the one that was like, oh man, this is it. This is really it. I would say that one. And I would say the record I got with Jadakiss, Let the Music Play. Those two are two of my favorites. Not saying that the other ones are not, but just those two specifically is just was like, yeah,